Westbridge Hills, welcome to episode 15 with me, Mr. Sealy P. We're back onto Westbridge Hills. It's been a while. Just familiarising myself with what we've been up to. I really couldn't remember. We've been on Sosnovka for quite a while, so I thought I would just jump in and get the Westbridge Hills welcome episode under our belts. So here we are. I'm going to take the harvester back to the yard because that's not needed for a little while, so we'll get that going back. That's the plan. If you haven't watched any of my videos before, I have a lot of plans. Whether they work or not, a whole different ballgame. Now, we are in the very, very early stages of this map compared to all the other ones. We don't have very much at all. One harvester, albeit upgraded. One seeder. I think 3 fields. Let's have a look. What do we own? 4 fields. We've got 10, 19, 16 and 20. Not very much at all. And I think some of those have got nothing in. And from what I recall on this map, our oilseed rape in this field here takes forever to grow. It will get there, we will do. I do need to plant in 19 and 10 I believe needs doing. I thought I'd get this back first. So this first bit was just really a bit of an update. It's been a while. If you haven't been on this gameplay series before, go back to the start, have a watch. We're only 14 episodes in at the moment. You can see how we've kind of started off and got going. It's not hugely impressive at the moment, but we are getting there. Right, I want to park that up there. And we will swap over to, I think, the Deutzfahr. Okay, just I'll whiz over to field 10, just check it out. I know the map says there's nothing in it. Doesn't it? To have a look. They weren't lying. It's been harvested, but it will need fertilising and reseeding again. Okay, at least we know. Head back. I'm going to grab the seeder because we need to seed 10 and 19. I think that's full. So here we are. We'll do a couple of runs on the headland, give ourselves some turning space. We are putting canola back in. Canola is a good crop money-wise. So yeah, as I was saying, we've been spending a lot of time on the Sosnovka gameplay series. If you haven't seen that either, Guyver, have a look. We're about 36 episodes in now. We've also chucked in 3 multiplayer episodes, I think. I'm also considering whether or not we can probably do a multiplayer on here as well, actually. We'll get Moomin Seal back over here onto this map, and maybe she can help out doing a few bits and bobs while we kind of get ourselves on our feet. As I say, we are early doors on this map. Not a lot of machinery, not a lot of fields, not a huge amount of money. Different gameplay style to Sosnovka. We relied a lot on lumber. Problem is with this map, there's not any forests and not a lot of trees. If you've watched back from the early episodes, I have pretty much taken out everything. Pretty much all the pine trees I can do. I have planted some, I believe, actually down by the lumberyard. I did plant some, didn't I? Which should be growing, but they're not really ready to be used for a while. But they are in the ground. At some point, hopefully, we'll be able to use those. So now we will get this planter running down this side, the Vaderstadt. I sold my Vaderstadt on Sosnovka. I was reluctant to, I like it, it's a good seeder. And on this one as well, I may well need to, or at least have another one as well. I think the large Porsche Pronto, because we have got some big fields on this map. Number 9 is colossal. 8 and 7, 11, 13, 18, they're all big fields, so we're going to need some big seeders. But that could be a few episodes down the road, we know that. As we've also mentioned, on the Sosnovka multiplayer, we were talking about it, and I think I did in previous episodes on this, no trains to send. You can't send your grain by train, you can't send your lumber by train. It's a hard map to play on. Anyway, I'll let this carry on for a little bit, and I'm going to go and grab the fertiliser spreader on the Schluter. Trusty little workhorse around the farm. Again, I started off on Sosnovka with 2 of these. As I said, completely different gameplay style. I have sold them both now and replaced them with bigger tractors. That said, on Sosnovka I did go with the Z-Tour 148 horsepower one. It's a great tractor. This is 150 horsepower. So at the end of the day, it makes no difference. I went for the Z-Tour on that map mainly because it's a Russian map. The Z-Tour came on the Gold Edition with extra vehicles, so it seemed apt. So I might well leave this one on this map, we'll see. The weather's not looking great. I think we might be in for some rain, maybe. We'll see. Right, I'm going to do the fertiliser spreading from the other side of the field, start there first. I should have run a strip across, never mind. So because the Vaderstadt is a seeder and cultivator, so it cultivates then seeds, I'm going to put the fertiliser spread onto the field, and it's artificial fertiliser. I haven't got enough slurry or anything yet to use something else. So the Vaderstadt will then cultivate that in and then plant over the top. Not ideal, but it's more time efficient this way. And then what we'll probably do is whiz all this down to field 19, get that seeded. I'm also considering buying another field, maybe a big one. Now I've built up that money, it seems like the sensible thing to do, because that will increase our crop capacity, our acreage, which will give us more yield, more crop to sell, and long term more money. So I'm going to go and have a quick look and see about another field. Now, as I've already mentioned, we are starting out on this map. So in me deciding to go and check out some other fields to purchase, it suddenly became very apparent in scrolling through my machinery, I only have 2 tractors. So the harvester it is. Rather excessive and probably expensive fuel way to check out a map, but no, I'm trying to think. I'm sure this was 200,000 plus, but it's close to the yard, it's a big field, and it might be worth the investment. So for any of you out there shouting don't be an idiot, I may be about to be an idiot. Just jump out. 286. Oh, that's a big lot of money, isn't it? 9.55. Yep. You know what? We're going to buy it. That does not leave us much money. Okay. But we do own it. Now, as I said before, when I looked at this field in previous episodes, I'm considering sticking a strip across the middle of grass and having it as two separate fields. So I could run two different crops in it at the same time. So big field, I'm thinking having, I mean, even if I do both halves, oilseed rape, canola, to start off with, I can then separate it. It does also mean it's more manageable for seeding and fertilising because it is huge and I've only got a small seeder at the moment. So I'm thinking that might be the way around it. But we do now own a new field. Field number 15. Now, having a quick look around, I've just remembered as well, I've only got the front mower, haven't got the butterfly mowers yet because they were quite expensive. Yeah, I've got hay bales in a field ready for the cows, but I haven't got a field yet, excuse me, with grass in that we can turn into hay or silage bales. I'm pretty sure, and I will check this again, that we sold everything. Yes, we did. Okay. So, nothing left to sell. The seeder is plugging away, I'm judging by the look of it. The fertiliser spreader is doing its job. Pretty coming up doing its last strip up here. So what I might well do is while the seeder carries on here, I might set the fertiliser to work on our new field. It's an option. And typically it's left a tiny strip down the side. If I'd have just come in a little bit on the left hand side when I set it off, it would have covered this field probably in 3-4 passes. That's annoying. Okay, I'll do one more run back down. So, field 10 is fertilised. We find ourselves at the shop, the store. Why are you at the store, you ask? Very good question. So, I've made a decision. Another one. Not always for the best, but we'll see how we get on. Don't want more bank loan, thank you very much. Then come up to my maximum. That's not a lot of money, but sell it. We are going to swap that out and purchase this one, the Amazon ZGB 8200, 8200, depending where you're from. So we now own it, because having just bought field, I keep forgetting, field 15, which is a big field, we don't want to have to keep coming backwards and forwards too often to refill the sprayer. And this has got a much bigger capacity, 8,000 litres, linked with the one on the front, which is I think 1,125. It should give us a lot more acreage of capacity. Now, because on finishing field 10 I was down to 1,000 litres, which is in the front tank, it did mean that I'd used everything in the rear sprayer anyway, spreader, so it's not like I've lost fertiliser. I didn't sell that with the rear sprayer. Take this back to the yard and we will fill it up. We'll see how much this is going to cost. I will start filling the rear, back it up, swap to the front tank and refill that as well. $2,472. Whoa. Okay. We will get that back on canola. I will set this to go on this side of the field to start off with, so it will finish off closer to the yard, not as far to transport it. This map is considerably hillier than Sosnovka. Bjornholm's got its share of hills, some quite big ones. It's deceptively hilly, this one. I shall leave this to crack on with the fertilising, and I'll go and see how we are getting on with the seeding on field 10. So planting's going well, probably 4 more strips. We are in the Deutzval, and we should be finishing off the last strip of field 10. It's taken a little while, we got there. Fertiliser sprayer is still carrying on in field 15. It's taking a while, it's a big field. What we're now going to do is work out roughly where halfway is along field 15 and put a couple of strips of grass across. Here. Fantastic. Right. Turn directly that way. Oops, been driving with that open. Never mind. Right, change crop to grass. Get these cars out of the way. Come on. There we go. Right, spin this round. And I'll put a couple of strips across. This will, in essence, give me 2 separate fields. And it does seem like I'm losing potential crop growth area. And it is a little bit, tiny little strip, not the end of the world. But it does give me more versatility for how to use the fields, especially later on. I can harvest one at a time, one when I need to. I can do 2 different crops in it, however I want to do it. Fold that away, and quickly whiz back to the yard. Now while this is refilling, I just had a thought, I'd better change that back to canola. Otherwise I'll happily set it off to work and I'll end up turning that entire new field I've bought into a grass field, which would then need ploughing to be able to use it again, which isn't going to help me at all. Right. Considering it's 2:35 in the afternoon, it's incredibly dark everywhere. Not nice weather. Perfect. And as I said, field 16 off to the right there. I don't know why the canola takes so long to grow. It did this in the previous episode. I think we took 3 episodes waiting for that to grow. In the end I had to turn the speed up the time. So I just ran out of jobs to do. I haven't got enough on the farm yet, but I've got plenty to be getting on with, which is a bit of a nuisance, but can't do a lot about that. Off we go. I always somehow, don't know how, managed to be left with a tiny little strip on the side of a field. I've just sprayed that entire car with fertiliser. I'm sure they'll be happy with that. I'll get the bill, I would imagine. So, field 15, that's the whole of it fertilised. The planter is going to carry on here. What I'm going to do is refill the fertiliser spreader. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And then probably head down to field 19, which we own. We've done nothing with yet. I don't think I've fertilised that yet, but we'll go down and have a look. So here we are at field 19, and just by looking at it, I think where I overshot with the spreader before, this definitely hasn't been fertilised then. Okay. Get this fertilised. So I'm going to set him off on here as a worker. Just do some of those bales at some point as well. Don't have a bale auto stacker or a trailer yet. I've got the skid steer. Maybe put bale spikes on the skid steer, at least move them off the field. I'll have to think about that. Right, he's up and running. We'll whiz back over to the planter. I could put barley or wheat in this one, couldn't I? And use it for, yeah, I was going to do a whole crop harvest, wasn't I? Yeah, I might do that. I might stick barley in it. Well, it's fertilised now. It's ready to go for whatever I need it. What we'll do with the shooter now then is top off the tanks and we'll park up the fertiliser spreader because we don't need that for a little while. I will park up the shooter because I don't need that for a little while either. Okay, we're in the final strip. That's us done for this episode. We've got a fair bit done, bought a new field, done some planting, got some canola in. If you like the episode, give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you've got a comment, leave a comment. But that's about it. Plenty more to do. We're going to put crops in the next one as well. On the right hand side of field 15. We've done the left hand side today. And we've fertilised on field 19. So we just need to put crop down there as well. Probably going to do barley or wheat in these and cut it for straw swath and use that for silage. I think chaffing and silage. Anyway, that's us. Look forward to seeing you next episode. And thanks for watching.